that stuff is so hilarious.
Right.
And I got the idea because he puts a pinch of salt when he makes you a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
He like goes, okay. Pretty fun. Cool guy.
Dude, Aaron Bowen, is nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
For the imaginary people that would be watching this,
yes.
We knew each other on Instagram. You reached out and said, "Can I send you coffee?"
Yeah.
Which was like, "Yes, please."
Yeah.
And now we've met in person, and it's like the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, I agree.
And some serious nerdery happening.
Yeah. I had some friends from Portland, and I don't drink beer. Never had a beer in my life. And they said I'd never get along in Portland. They said you'd never be able to get any business done. And I've noticed now I have a world around coffee.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool. Coffee's my beer. Coffee's my hey buddy, want to have some coffee?
I think that people who are like maniacal about guitars or recording, or you told me about fabrication, like anything where there's this fineness of like grains of detail and all that kind of stuff, and nuance, like often they're into coffee or they're into beer or they're into something else where there's like, so many musicians who are also engineers also have a coffee ritual with like very specific.
Yeah, I like yours. Like the out on the beach, I saw you like.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this guy's going for
next level. I was like, I want to be able to go on a hike, and then at the midpoint of the hike, sit down somewhere beautiful and have a fresh cup of coffee.
That's pretty rad. I mean, you can't beat it,
One of the things that I am most fascinated by in music is improvisation.
Okay.
It's like, it's the root of everything that I do.
Mm-hmm, totally.
Kind of like the foundation. Even if it looks like I know what I'm doing, there's an improvisational thing underneath. It's like the discovery. And so I was listening to one of your records, and I wrote you and said, I really like this, and you said that all of the lyrics, like most of the vocals and the lyrics were improvised.
Yeah.
On the fly, which that's next level. I've never talked to anybody who did that.
Okay.
What? How? What?
Well, I actually listened to my album for the first time the other day. I don't listen back to my stuff, and I realized like there's probably half the songs in there were improvised one take vocal and lyrics. So for years I was like a real tightwad about everything I did, like my playing or my singing or anything I did was like, I had the internal filter guy was there before anything happened, and he would stop the flow of anything, and it just gets old, it gets really old to be that guy, to try to control something that could be cool, so letting go of that. And that the album that you speak of was like all the music was done first. All of it, like totally done. And I would wander around my studio, my living room with the headphones on, just listening to songs over and over again. Mic's ready to go, and then push record and like stuff would come out. And I thought about it. I said, okay, there's nothing to fear here because nobody's here.
Right.
If this bites, do it again. You know what I mean? Like
no one ever has to hear it. Yeah.
This isn't live. We're not live. We're just winging it. Like everything's winging it. So once I got over the fear, is really what it is.
So I think that's really profound because I think a lot of people operate with that like internal commentator.
Yes.
So what was it? The process of improvising in a safe place that got you over that, or what was? I mean, was there like a practice that?
There was some influence. There was some like, a lot of meditation. I know it's weird to say, but a lot of meditation, and Alan Watts, philosopher. Like,
okay.
Listening to Alan Watts, driving around listening to some philosophy, and if you ever get a chance, just don't read Alan Watts. Listen to Alan Watts. He's hilarious in his like philosophical big, things. It's all got an air of comedy to it. And he basically, like, one of his things is put it like, it's not going to kill you. None of this will kill you. Only your ego, perhaps, will be harmed, And, but again, if I'm doing vocals in my studio, I'm in a very safe place.
Right.
But allowing the opportunity for flow to come out like that, really unchecked lyrical flow, was just unbelievable. I had to listen back to figure out what I was talking about. I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's a song about my mother. Or
it's like trance writing or something.
Totally, exactly. Like, like automatic writing, but automatic lyrics. And then I went and I was listening to Paul Simon, Rhythm of the Saints album, which is like a masterpiece. It's the one that people don't talk about, after Graceland. And half the songs on there are automatic writing.
Wow.
And I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Same
that.
thing where he'd wander around these beautiful big studios in New York just turning circles. And then he'd just start, just go. And then he would come back and be like, well, maybe there's a line I want to change, or maybe there's not a line I want to change. And I was like, oh, cool. So if it's okay for Paul Simon, I think it's all right for me.
Right.
I think I'll be all right, so.
That's profound, though, because I think that's like the state of mind where you can allow things to just arrive without judgment is like a muscle.
Yeah.
But it's like a muscle. It's like the opposite. Rather than a muscle that you learn to tense in a certain way, it's like a muscle you learn to relax.
Yes.
And I think it speaks to kind of the wonder and power of the human brain, the human mind and spirit, that people can learn to do that. It's like learning to lower your latency time as a human to where you're getting as close to real time as possible.
Yes, man, it's huge.
Yeah, getting to play with people who are operating at that place where it's like, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
How
you do that. David Torn does that, and that's why I'm drawn to you guys' playing, because the cool thing too is, maybe it's all BS. Maybe you guys have this all worked out. Kind of don't think so, as a listener, but
other aspects of my life would attest to the fact that that's not true.
Yeah. But I also, like, as a listener, I don't know what's going to happen. I have to go back and listen to it again. Where were they going? What was really happening there? And that's like keeps me interested. So why wouldn't I want to do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's thrilling.
Yeah. Like, I get in this argument a lot with jazz musicians about improvisation. What is improvisation? Let's play, whatever. Let's play this tune, And I'm like, well, then we're not improvising. Because we all know the tune. We all know the chord changes. We all know exactly what we can do over it. Maybe there's 5, 6, 10 variations on each theme that we could do, but we know what we're going to do. That's not improvisation. Let's get on stage and improvise.
Right.
And we might fall apart. It might sound horrible, But that's the thing. Can you get over that fear, too, of what somebody on Instagram is going to think of your 1 minute noodle on your guitar? Get over it, man.
Yeah.
I started a thing a long time ago called One Takes with a good buddy of mine. He's in France. He's a great fingerstyle guitar player named Ash Orphan. Great, tapper, does all the cool tricks. And we were doing these things called One Takes, where you literally just put the phone up and push record. It might really bite. I have a couple where I cuss halfway through because I just botched something.
Yeah.
But the world of Instagram, oh my gosh, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's so that's powerful though. It's like a gift to give to somebody else too.
Sure.
Someone might watch it and go in the incredibly curated world that we live in.
Yeah.
Where you view all this stuff, and you could play for an hour and take the 30 seconds that sounded amazing and put that on Instagram, and it's like, wow.
Of course.
But it's a gift to somebody to watch someone else fail at something.
Sure.
And then keep going. Or the world didn't end and
they're still rad.
Right.
We talked about another Instagram guitar player, Mason Stoops.
Yeah.
And when I watch him, I'm like, I don't think this guy cares.
He's also a guitar player in the real world.
No, yeah. He's an actual he can play for more than 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unbelievable. No, but he's another guy, when I'm watching him, I don't think he cares, as much as some people care. You know what I mean? Like some people put a lot of energy into like caring. Like I've seen him play, and I don't know where he's going, you know.
Right.
And that's rad.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I want to be. As a guitar player, I guess that's where I want to be. And also, not always as a writer. Sometimes I like to sit down and craft a piece of music.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get to the point, even with the craft, even if I'm sitting down to craft it, can I let some of the things through? You know, I remember having a conversation with my wife a long time ago, and I wrote a song. I actually, it's on one of my albums, it's the first song on my album, and I pushed record and played it and wrote it and sang it. And it's one take.
Mm.
And I said, man, there's some ideas in there. I should come back and like, you know, because I said, that line is not me. I would never say that. And my wife says, oh, really? Because you just said it. That's you. That's actually you.
Yeah.
The one that would go through and tweak it and make it real hip, that's up here. And I ended up leaving that exact take. Like you can hear my foot stomping, the mic shaking, and like, you know, I had no idea where I was headed, and I said some things that I normally probably wouldn't say. I would have rewritten, made it much more clever, you know. But and that's when the learning curve started to be like, oh, wait a minute. The real me is like,
I'm not even hearing it. I got chills thinking about that experience.
Oh, I listen back. The thing is this album, when I listen back, I'm still shocked. Because I'm not a great piano player. I completely understand theory on the piano, but I have no chops. So half the album that you were speaking of is a lot of pump organ. And those are the basics for a lot of the tracks. It wasn't a guitar-based album. And half the tracks are improvised too. Like I started with a vibe, and I would use drum loops. Some of the album is drum loops from my drummer friend, real great, incredible drummer from San Diego, named Jake Nager. It's amazing. And I would just loop and then just start playing this pump organ. And I'd have a few ideas, but then I would just go off, and I didn't know where I was going. So when I still listen back to the album, I'm still like kind of stoked on it, you know, because I don't know what the heck I was doing. I have to go back and try to figure out how to play these things.
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
That's super cool.
I love it. I can't play half the album. You know?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to play half the piano parts on the album. I have to go back and try to figure it out.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think you can hear records. There are records where everything has been sweated over and scrutinized.
Sure.
And I won't say all of those kind of records, but a lot of those kind of records don't get me to listen again.
Sure, yeah, you listen to it the first, you're like, oh.
Yeah, or it's you know, to quote Mitch Hedberg, it's like waffles, it's like pancakes, it's like super exciting at first, and then after 4 bites you're sick of them, you know? It's just like, but you can hear records that have spontaneity, which generates a certain amount of mystery in it, and there are these the characteristics of the musicians are present in there, but they're sort of multi-layered, you know, and as you listen to it on different systems, maybe you like listen in your headphones and you listen at home and you put in earbuds and hear something completely different.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard this song 20 times and I didn't know that was in there.
Yeah.
You know? Or the other thing that comes to mind is the crack in someone's voice or the squeak of a chair or like the one note that's kind of funky.
Yeah.
That becomes like for me, it becomes like a milestone in the song.
Yes.
Now when I listen again, I can't wait for the drum fill that rushes a little bit, you know, because it just does something to my nervous system to hear it that way. So I think that maybe this is an old man talk, but it's like, I think that there's a lack of spontaneity and a lack of freedom and maybe bravery in leaving humanity in music.
Yes.
You know, where a lot of music that I hear that's, you know, basically came right out of GarageBand or Ableton Live, and it's built on 1 or 2 bar modules of sound and rhythm. I don't get a human connection out of that. And it just doesn't draw me in. Now maybe that's the way things are going, I'm also convinced like there's always going to be 13-year-old kids who get a turntable and get stoked on buying records,
Yeah.
even if they're a minority. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like people are going to get it, even
Mm-hmm.
if it's not the way that mass music goes.
Sure.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
but it's cool. Talking to you about producing it also sounds like you get to help people
Oh, yeah.
discover that a little bit.
Oh yeah, and you know I do a thing every year. I've done it for the last 5 years maybe, where I do at the first at least within the first week of the year, I do an intentions list, and every single time, one of my first two things is like helping other artists, and I think that's maybe why I do music. Really, is to actually help other artists. You know, yeah, I've got my own music and I play live and I put out albums and all that stuff, but I enjoy helping people. I feel like when I listen to people, I can hear what is supposed to happen, what should happen, and what could happen. And I feel like, you know, not patting myself on the back or anything or comparing myself, but like, you know, the guy who facets diamonds. That guy's crazy, you know, like I wouldn't know if I was looking at a diamond or quartz crystal. And he can look and go, oh yeah, chip, 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 beautiful, you know, and you're like, oh, I feel like I can do that with music, you know.
That's cool.
And it's one of my favorite things to do, you know. It makes me really happy to finish an album for someone. And like the other night I played a CD release party for a girl and I was like, this is cool, it's her night, you know. And it just feels good that's my world, you know.
Elevating other people is
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, because it goes back to, is it elevating you as well? Of course it is. There's not one ladder to success, you know. Like, I own a lot of albums. I own a lot of different instruments too. I don't just own one of everything, you know. It's not a ladder that we're all trying to climb the same ladder. So if we help each other, just looking better, you know.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, you know. So
That's an awesome place to end this. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That was great.